What intrigues me most about this topic is what's intrigued me for 20 years in my career, and the reason I started teaching Indian law and being interested in it. I was looking for a topic for a paper when I was in law school, stumbled across some suggestions of an Indian law topic, said, what is this? They didn't even teach Indian law at the school where I went. And for me, Indian history stopped in high school with essentially the Plains Indians and the Civil War and the end of the buffalo. And so when I think Indian now, I don't think sort of teepees and buffaloes and bison and baskets and beads as many people do. I think of government systems that run courts, law enforcement. I train tribal police officers. Tribes own multi-million-dollar corporations. That's Miriam's area of expertise, is the economic development. So the history and the story of modern tribal governments is so much more complex than most people realize, and that's what we're hoping to address in this class.
I have a similar story about why this topic interests me. When I was in college, I was studying economic development and politics, and our professor spent a lot of time talking to us about what was going on in the developing world. That was the focus of one of the classes I was taking in economic development. And in learning about what was going on there, I thought to myself, I grew up in South Dakota. When I drive across the southern part of the state from my hometown in the east to the Black Hills in the west, I cross over a lot of American Indian land. I drive through 3 to 4 reservations, and the things that I see there are exactly what I was hearing about in class. So I was very curious about the history and the contemporary realities of American Indians in the United States.
We want to start, obviously, the theme of the class is where tribes fit. And so the first course will look at where they fit governmentally, because a lot of people don't realize that tribes are governments. They have sovereignty, they have sovereign immunity, they run court systems, just like state and federal governments do. So we'll take a look at how that came to be and what's involved in that. Then we'll look at tribes culturally.
Tribes, as we've mentioned, are economic powerhouses in many parts of the United States. And tribes actually own a tremendous amount of the natural resources in the United States. It's something like 10% of the forest resources. Most of the unexplored mineral resources in the United States are under tribal control. And a lot of the future of the oil and gas industry in the United States has a lot to do with the decisions that tribes are making. And of course, most of us are familiar through news stories or through our use of the facilities of the tribal gaming boom that's gone on over the last 2 decades. The classes that I teach and the work that I do is much more focused on economics and political science, but certainly the students who take my classes have walked out with exactly the same kinds of reactions of, I'm thinking about the world in a completely different way now.
We look forward to having you join us for the class, and we hope to see you there. We want to share just not only our perspectives, but your perspectives and your questions, because that's what makes it such an exciting, fun class, is to hear from the class members, to see what's on your mind, and then we can put all the pieces together.
I'm really looking forward to this class, and one of the reasons is that we don't get a chance to work with students who have such a wealth of world experience very often, and that's exactly what this class offers. And I think that not only in the engagement with one another, but the engagement with the subject matter is what's going to make this very different and very interesting. So I hope that you look forward to that. It's something that we look forward to in coming into this course to teach.